Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo is firing back after a city council vote that could remove her from office. We have a response to the allegations. Plus, a spring break crash near Port Aransas turns deadly. We have new details on the investigation. And record-long security lines are causing chaos at airports. A political fight in Washington could make the problem worse. We explain why smaller airports might have to close coming up. Chris 6 Sunrise starts now. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman will be in later tonight, but for now, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at our weather and traffic this Baby Friday. Good morning, Stephen.
Well, good morning, Michelle, and good morning, Coastal Bend. Happy Baby Friday, as you said it best. We're looking pretty good so far this morning. We haven't been tracking any of those major slowdowns, and temperature-wise, might not even need the jacket so far. We're waking up to 69 degrees here in Corpus Christi so far. Port Aransas, you're waking up to 71 on the board so far. Alice sitting at 70 degrees on the money, and we're matching that in Hebbronville. Wind-wise, we're sitting at about 10 to 15 miles an hour for most of us out of the southeast. Luckily, with that 10 to 15 mile an hour range, keeping our visibilities nice and high. Otherwise, with the dew points out there, we'd likely be seeing some of that fog if winds were closer to 5 miles an hour or less. But as we go into the afternoon, we'll notice that breeze picking up a little bit more out there. Out of the southeast, 15 to 20 miles an hour, even gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour. Plenty of sunshine, though, puts us at 85 degrees for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi. A few 90s out west towards Duval County, but if you're getting ready to head out for the day, here's how that traffic is currently flowing. No issues on the Harbor Bridge if you're heading to or from Portland, and same goes for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi. And just a little shout out, good morning to you up there to the north in Beeville also. Getting a look at your traffic, no major slowdowns, just one minor slowdown coming up towards 181 there. Other than that, shaping up for a good and green Thursday morning. I'll have more details on the weekend ahead coming up in a few minutes.
Stephen, thank you so much. We'll check in with you in just a bit, but first, a 22-year-old man has died after a spring break crash near Port Aransas. Michael Brown died from a serious head injury on Friday, March 20th. He was hurt when a Jeep collided with a Tesla on Highway 361 on Sunday, March 14th. The impact threw Brown from the Jeep. Texas DPS is investigating the wreck as a driving while intoxicated offense. A viral video of the crash is now raising safety concern among island residents. And Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo is responding to a city council vote that could remove her from office. The council voted 5-3 to move forward with a hearing on a removal petition. Resident Rachel Caballero filed that petition last August, and she accuses the mayor of misconduct, incompetence, and willful neglect of her duties. Mayor Guajardo posted her response on social media, and she says this effort is really about stopping desalination and fighting for democracy. The mayor says she was elected to make hard decisions for the people. She wrote, quote, "I will not be bullied and will not back down. I will continue to work to secure water for our future," end quote. The council will hold a meeting on April 14th to start the hearing process. You can read the mayor's full response on our website, christv.com.
This morning, record-long security lines at some of the nation's busiest airports.
We were at the airport for 9 hours yesterday and still didn't make our flights.
Facing a new holdup as lawmakers clash over whether to restore TSA worker pay without addressing the immigration enforcement reforms Democrats have been demanding for weeks. President Trump slamming the opposing party.
They want to create chaos. It's all they're good at, creating chaos.
Republicans thought they had a deal to separate money for ICE enforcement while funding the rest of the Department of Homeland Security now. But Democrats say they won't move forward without guaranteed ICE reforms and thought negotiations were making progress.
We thought there had been some progress. But then Republicans sent us their offer yesterday and contained none of what had been talked about. None of the reforms we had been discussing.
Republicans quickly swatting down Democrats' counteroffer to restore funding with ICE changes like body cameras and no masks. President Trump saying he may bring in the National Guard to join ICE at airports in trying to move lines along. As the acting TSA administrator told lawmakers on Capitol Hill, they may need to close smaller airports without enough officers on hand, noting if they miss another paycheck this Friday.
We will have reach nearly $1 billion in missed paychecks. This level of disruption is unprecedented and unacceptable and significantly undermines the security of U.S. transportation systems.
That serious warning underscoring the travel mess. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Here in your neighborhood, due to the ongoing drought and dry conditions, Nueces County has extended the countywide burn ban. It will now last through April 28th, so that means all outdoor burning is prohibited. This includes beach bonfires. You can only burn household trash if you do not have trash collection services. Anyone caught breaking the rules could face a $500 fine.
Well, good Thursday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a view from our studio sky cam, you can see our sparkling city by the sea and notice that moisture in our atmosphere. We're waking up to about 69 degrees so far. Winds out of the southeast 11 miles an hour, and if they weren't that high, if they were closer to that 5-mile-an-hour mark or less, we'd likely be seeing more of that fog out there. Temperatures across the board are mostly in those upper 60s and lower 70s this morning. 71 your temperature in Rockport, 67 degrees for Kingsville, and matching that in Falfurrias so far to the south, also towards Freer, 67 degrees. George West, you're waking up to 71, and we're only going to be on the warm-up as we head through the rest of our Thursday. Taking a look at that dog walking forecast now. Today we've got Archie Casanova on the board over there from Clayburgh County. He says his favorite place to take a walk is around the ranch. Maybe it's a pretty good spot for it. As we're going through the morning hours, we're going to be on the warm-up though. 76 by 10 a.m. up to 81 degrees by that noon hour. And luckily winds aren't too bad either this morning. They're only out of the south about 5 to 10 miles an hour, picking up towards 10 to 15 miles an hour as we go into the later morning hours. And as we go into the afternoon, even more of a breeze on the way. First, I want to focus on those daytime highs, likely to stop around 85 here in Corpus Christi once again and see a few of those 90s sneaking their way onto the board. Chasing 91 for Freer, chasing 92 to the south of there in Falfurrias. Port Aransas here coming in closer to the upper 70s, if not that 80-degree mark once again. Through the next few days, and really for the entire 7-day forecast right now, coming in dry. Those rain chances are going towards the bottom of the board. Our best chance to see anything is with our cold front passage tomorrow night, but you can see it only touches up into that isolated category. I wouldn't expect anything here in Corpus Christi. Maybe a few showers trying to sneak in towards Duval County, towards the watershed, but still not going to be the significant rainfall that we need. Through the looking at the Muggy meter and through the next 7 days, you can see we remain relatively stable. Here's where that cold front works in. It's a pretty brief and weak one as it does. Nonetheless, as we head into next week, we start to see that slight return of the dew points towards that 70-degree mark with that moisture on the rise just outside of the 7-day forecast in that 6 to 10-day outlook for us. The National Weather Service has most of the U.S. in that likely wetter weather pattern. Now, we'll see how it all shapes up, but it's definitely got my fingers crossed as we're heading through just beyond the 7-day forecast. Getting ready to head into April, hopefully we start to see some more rainmakers work their way into the area. For now, here's how it's all shaping out. It's 85 today, 86 degrees by tomorrow. That cold front tomorrow night drops us down into the lower 80s as we're heading into the weekend, looking just about prime to get out there and enjoy it with plenty of sunshine. Heading into next week to close off March and enter April from Tuesday into Wednesday, we're back on the warm-up in through those mid-80s. Overnight lows starting to chase that 70-degree mark as we head into Wednesday morning.
The war in Iran is hitting your wallet, and not just at the gas pump. Coming up on Sunrise, Joe St. George shows us it's driving up mail and housing costs.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Dennis Quayle is finally back on U.S. soil. The 64-year-old spent more than a year imprisoned in Afghanistan. He landed Monday morning at Joint Base San Antonio. Family and friends greeted him there. The Taliban detained Quayle in January 2020. He was held near solitary confinement and never charged with a crime. Quayle worked in Afghanistan for nearly 20 years. The United Arab Emirates helped secure his release, and this happened after the Trump administration declared Afghanistan a state sponsor of wrongful detention. Now, here in your neighborhood, neighbors are invited to attend the burial of an unaccompanied veteran. U.S. Navy veteran Pamela Sue Lundmark will be laid to rest tomorrow. The service starts at 10 in the morning, and it will be held at the Coastal Bend State Veterans Cemetery in Corpus Christi. Organizers want to ensure no veteran is ever buried alone. So folks, you are likely paying more at the pump right now. The average price for a gallon of gas here in the Coastal Bend is $3.43 a gallon. That's up 83 cents since the war has began. But gas is not the only thing getting more expensive. The war in Iran is impacting many parts of the American life. The Postal Service just announced a new surcharge. Mortgage rates are now at their highest level since October. We want to bring in our deputy political director, Joe St. George. So good morning, Joe. President Trump is now weighing options for a ground invasion in Iran, and he's also expressing optimism that a deal can happen. So what's the latest on the conflict, and how is it driving up these costs?
Yeah, let's start with the costs, right? I mean, if you're wondering, well, wait, why is the war impacting mortgage rates? It's because mortgage rates tend to be tied to Treasury yields, and Treasury yields have been spiking because of the projections for long-term, prolonged high gas prices. Everything's connected. If you're wondering why at the end of April, most packages are going to get an 8% surcharge from the Postal Service, it's because, yes, of transportation costs. I did a story just a few weeks ago about the concerns over helium. Yes, the gas that's used in party balloons, but the concern over how there could be helium shortages at party stores in this country soon because of all the helium that's manufactured, produced, and travels through the Strait of Hormuz. Helium's also used in MRI machines at hospitals to make computer chips globally. So the impacts on rising prices seem to have no bounds. We've talked a lot about gas prices for good reason, but we're starting to see the domino effects begin to play out. As far as the Iranian conflict goes, we're clearly at a critical juncture, right? I mean, the president has two very distinct paths to go down. One is diplomacy, a possible peace deal. Yes, there remains the possibility of some sort of gathering in Pakistan in the coming days to hash out a deal. Or at the same time, the other road leads to escalation. And there's just as much of a chance, I think, that the U.S. launches a form of a land invasion in Iran, perhaps a significant island that's known for producing energy in Iran. That could be the big story in the coming days. The president clearly has a difficult choice ahead of him. He has been active on social media this morning. The president saying, and I'm quoting here, "The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. They are begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since they've been militarily obliterated with zero chance of a comeback, and yet they publicly state that they are only looking at our proposal." Wrong. So the president expressing frustration in how Iran is handling this, and that is the president saying that they're talking, that peace is possible. You turn on Iranian state television, and they say basically the exact opposite. So we'll see what today, tomorrow, this weekend brings, but clearly a critical juncture for this Iran war.
Well, thank you so much, Joe, for the heads up, and thank you for following this. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, howdy and happy Thursday, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're sitting at 71 degrees so far, winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Luckily, that 10 to 15 mile an hour range just enough to keep away any of that fog that would otherwise be developing out there. Let's take a closer look at our temperatures with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network now. On the south side, waking up to 71 at Wind Willow Drive and Pebble Beach Drive up there. For Garden Court and Taylor's Way Court, both coming in at that 70-degree mark. Over towards Kingsville, a little bit more inland now, waking up to those upper 60s, 68 degrees for Bishop Badger Meadowbrook, as well as towards southwest Kingsville so far. So not necessary to take the jacket along, but you still could if you want to for those 60s this morning. By the afternoon, we're on the warm up though, as we chase that 3 p.m. pickup, 83 degrees back on the board. I'm thinking 85 for our official daytime high from CCIA. Keep in mind, it's also looking like a breezy afternoon out of the southeast, about 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusts getting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour at times. Now let's walk you through the future tracker and how today's going to look. Going through this morning, likely to see some more of that cloud cover, what we've been seeing the past few days. Closer to that 10 and 11 a.m. hour really starts to burn off for most of us, and heading into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine in store for the area. That's going to put us on the warm-up, like we talked about, 85 here in Corpus Christi. A few areas out west chasing those 90s, 91 degrees potentially for areas towards Freer, Hebbronville, and even towards Falfurrias. If you do find yourself closer to the coast, though, similar to what we've been seeing all week, just those upper 70s 70s, if not 80 degrees on the money towards Port Aransas. And going into tomorrow, we're still on that rinse and repeat pattern that we've been on all week. We'll have that cloud cover develop into the morning. The specks of green on the radar, likely just some of that mist out there, some of the fog trying to develop, but likely not to see too much of it tomorrow morning either. This is all thanks to our friend, the red ridge of high pressure we've got overhead. That's why we're not seeing any of the rain chances make their return to the board, and why our daytime highs have been well above average really throughout the entire last week. Going through the weekend remains overhead, so rain chances not going to be picking up, unfortunately, as we head through the 7-day forecast. We do have a cold front that sneaks in towards the surface as we go into tomorrow night. That's going to cool us off briefly for the weekend, but as you can see, doesn't bring too much rain to the coastal bend. I'm not thinking we see anything here into the Corpus Christi area, maybe just a light shower or two for areas towards Duval County. Now, how it's all rounding out on our current 7-day forecast, nice and warm. 85 degrees today, 86 degrees tomorrow for your Friday, and then that cold front works in. That drops us into the lower 80s as we're heading into this weekend. And if you ask me, it's looking just about prime to get out there and enjoy it with the lower 80s and plenty of sunshine heading into Palm Sunday. Heading into next week as we close off March by Tuesday and enter April on Wednesday, we're back on that warm up into the mid 80s with overnight lows following that same trend, chasing 70 degrees already by Wednesday morning.
Be the solution, not the pollution. I'm Stephanie Molina in Kingsville, and I'll tell you how a local organization is turning that message into action and how you can get involved.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
That's Christine Hoskinson, Secretary for Keep Kingsville Beautiful. The local nonprofit works on city beautification, cleanup, and conservation projects. They also educate neighbors to take responsibility of their community. One of their focuses is roadside trash cleanup. These efforts go a long way for the Kingsville community and the environment. The city partially funds the organization, which helps to educate and motivate the community. So if everyone can do their part, like helping with cleanups, then Kingsville neighbors can make a big impact.
Well, good Thursday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our SPID Skycam. You can see still not tracking any major slowdowns. Luckily, a few more cars picking up there on SPID. Temperature-wise, we're waking up to the 60s and 70s across the board so far. About 71 degrees in Port Aransas right now, as well as Rockport. 67 your temperature in Kingsville. 69 degrees for Hebbronville so far, and winds are out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Luckily, that's keeping away most of the fog. Visibility's looking nice and clear for most of us this morning. As we're heading through the rest of our Thursday, just about a copy and paste of what we've been seeing all week. That sunshine comes back out as we're heading into the afternoon. We're going to be chasing about 85 degrees for that daytime high. Winds are going to be picking up as we're heading into the afternoon. Also, winds out of the southeast about 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting towards 25 to 30 miles an hour. But as you're getting ready to head out for the day, here's how that traffic is flowing. No issues for the Harbor Bridge, and really the same goes for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, so we're shaping up for a good and green Thursday morning. Of course, I'll have more details about the rest of the weekend on the way, coming up in just a few minutes.
This morning on the third hour of Today, actress Jennifer Jason Leigh stops by. Plus, Steve Kornacki previews another wild weekend of college basketball and how to give your houseplants a spring boost. That's all ahead this morning on the third hour of Today.
Well, howdy and happy Thursday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio Skycam, we're sitting with a pretty moisture-filled morning so far. Luckily, not too much of that fog out there. Winds are out of the southeast at 11 miles an hour, keeping away any of that fog that we'd otherwise be seeing. We're waking up to about 69 degrees though, so not necessarily a jacket necessary morning, but could still take it as we're heading through the morning hours. We're waking up to 68 degrees your temperature in Alice. The cool spots, Kingsville and Falfurrias, both coming in at 67. Over in Port Aransas, you're waking up to 71, and that's also the temperature for Rockport this morning, but we're all going to be on the warm-up as we head through our Thursday. Taking a look at our dog walking forecast, today's star going to be Archie Casanova over there from Clayburgh County. Says his favorite place to take a walk just around the ranch, and hey, that's a pretty good spot for it. Either way, those temperatures are looking pretty good for the walk this morning for Archie. 73 degrees by 9 a.m., up to 78 by that 11 a.m. hour, and winds, they're out of the south about 10 to 15 miles an hour this morning, but picking up as we head through the later later morning hours and into the afternoon, closer to 20 miles an hour by that lunchtime hour and starting to gust upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour later today. Let's walk you through it on the future tracker and how our Thursday is going to look. Of course, that morning cloud cover still out there, starts to burn off closer to 10 and 11 a.m. especially. That's where we start to see most of the sunshine coming back out. Temperatures on the rise, about 85 degrees here in Corpus Christi. A few sneaky 90s working their way towards Duval County for Freer, Hebbronville, and Falfurrias later today. Towards the coast, still nice and cool for that daytime high in the upper 70s, if not 80 degrees. And going into our Friday, we'll see the redevelopment of that cloud cover. By tomorrow morning, likely to wake up to that cloudy skies once again, but pretty similarly as today, we'll see that sunshine come back out tomorrow afternoon. Now here's how the winds are going to start picking up through the rest of the day. You can see them slowly increasing through the morning hours and then especially into the afternoon hours, peaking around that 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. time frame. That's where we're expecting those gusts upwards of 25 and even 30 miles an hour at times. So just something you'll notice as you're driving around later this afternoon. And through the next few days with this red ridge of high pressure overhead, this is what's been keeping us warm all week. Going to continue to keep us fairly warm into the weekend. Now keep in mind this is the upper level pattern. Towards the surface levels, we will see a little bit of a cold front sneak in as we head into tomorrow night. That kicks up just a brief rain chance. I don't think we're going to see anything here in Corpus Christi. Maybe just a few of those isolated showers trying to sneak in towards Duval County and for some of our western neighborhoods. But other than that, we're sticking pretty dry here around the area, and that's holding on to some moderate and high forecast fire danger today. Even going into tomorrow, still hold on to some of those pockets of high fire danger. So for the current 7-day forecast, we're coming in pretty warm and pretty dry right now. There is some more promising notions after we get just outside of it, deeper into April, but for now it's coming in dry. Here's how it's shaping up. 85 degrees today, 86 by tomorrow. That cold front, as we see it working tomorrow night, drops us to the lower 80s this weekend, and it's looking just wonderful to get out there and enjoy it with plenty of sunshine. Heading into next week to close out the month, we'll be back on the warm up through those mid 80s with overnight lows following that same trend from the lower 60s up into the upper 60s by next Wednesday.
As you may know, the Coastal Bend water supply is shrinking. Coming up on Sunrise, Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber digs into how much water big industry really uses. She also explains what the city is doing to cut that usage down.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Sunrise team. We're London Basketball, and we want to wish our neighbors across the Coastal Bend a great morning.
Hey, London Basketball team, we want to say good morning to you guys as well. We hope you have a wonderful day. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout-out video, just like the one you just saw, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website, christv.com.
The Coastal Bend is feeling the pressure of a dwindling water supply. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber, and as we continue to report on our looming water crisis, we're listening to concerns from you, our neighbors. And one of the biggest questions we get is about industry. Who is industry? That can be different depending on who you ask.
A company like a refinery, manufacturing, so like chemicals or steel.
The refineries, the chemical plants, plastics plants, for sure.
Corpus Christi Water and the Texas Water Development Board classify these users a bit differently. So when it comes to how much water industry uses, the math gets complicated.
A large volume user is just one user that uses a large volume of water. Think of industrial customer like a Valero or a Citgo.
Pretty clear, right? As for raw wholesale customers,
Corpus Christi Water sells the water to that entity and they resell it. So some of our wholesale customers include the South Texas Water Authority, the San Patricio Municipal Water District, Nueces County WCID number 4. Those are some of our wholesale water customers.
It's difficult to pinpoint since there's a lot of reselling involved. Check out this graph from February 2026. You'll see the large volume and raw wholesale groups take about 60% of the city's water. Since we can't zoom in any further with the city, let's zoom out to the state. The Texas Water Development Board collects survey data on water use. This data compiles estimates provided by large volume water users in our region. Digging through the 2024 numbers, these users purchased about 60 million gallons a day. This is also roughly 60% of our water. So no matter who you call industry, these users are taking a big slice of the pie. So what's being done to reduce industrial water use? Well, companies like Flint Hills and Valero are working with the city to cut back, using less treated and raw water and using recycled wastewater or effluent. On top of that, local drought rules call for extra fees to encourage everyone to use less. And then there's pro rata, Latin for in proportion. It's the last move in a drought contingency plan. All users get less water, and that cut is in proportion to normal use.
Pro rata allocations are determined across all customer classes. One thing it's important to note that we have to be fair in the approach per state and federal law, and we have to work with those entities together to implement any of those allocations.
Have a question about our water crisis? We're listening. Just look for this story at KrisTV.com. In Corpus Christi, Stephanie Lauber, KRIS 6 News.
Well, howdy and happy Thursday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're waking up to 71 degrees, winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Luckily keeping away any fog that we'd otherwise see developing this morning because moisture levels are up there, but without any lift in the atmosphere and with that high pressure overhead, not expecting too much rain as of right now. Temperature-wise, we're all waking up to those upper 60s and lower 70s. 71 in Rockport, 70 degrees for Alice so far, 67 what you're waking up to in Kingsville right now for the cool spot on the board. Beeville coming in at a nice 69 degrees. Through the rest of the day, we're all going to be on the warm-up, though, just about a copy and paste of what we've really been seeing all week. The sunshine coming back out around that 11 a.m. time frame and into the afternoon, especially. Winds picking up a little bit southeasterly, about 15-20 miles an hour, but those gusts likely to push 25 to 30 miles an hour later this afternoon. So just something you're going to notice as you're driving around, but nonetheless, temperatures on the rise. I'm calling about 85 degrees for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi. And with that high pressure overhead, like we talked about, rain chances not picking up too much through the 7-day forecast. We're mainly sitting at that isolated chance as we head into tomorrow night. Not expecting anything for Corpus Christi right now, but with that cold frontal passage, we could see 1 or 2 light showers kicked up as a result of it. I'll have more details on that front end the weekend ahead coming up in just a few minutes.
Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo is firing back after a city council vote that could remove her from office. We have her response to the allegations. Plus, Corpus Christi's water supply is dropping. We'll show you how city leaders and schools are teaming up to keep students safe. And dropping water levels at Choke Canyon Reservoir are causing tension between Corpus Christi and Three Rivers. We'll explain the confusion over the water supply.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Thank you so much for joining us for 20 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo is responding to a city council vote that could remove her from office. The council voted 5-3 to move forward with a hearing on a removal petition. Resident Rachel Caballero filed that petition last August. She accuses the mayor of misconduct, incompetence, and willful neglect of her duties. Now, Mayor Guajardo posted her response on social media. She says this effort is really about stopping desalination and fighting for democracy. The mayor says she was elected to make hard decisions for the people. She wrote, quote, "I will not be bullied and will not back down. I will continue to work to secure water for our future," end quote. The council will hold a meeting on April 14th to start the hearing process, and you can read the mayor's full response on our website, KrisTV.com. Corpus Christi city leaders are urging school districts to prepare for a possible water emergency. Major reservoirs are sitting at just over 8% capacity and dropping. Models show a level 1 water emergency could happen without real alternatives. So city officials met with superintendents across the region to discuss backup plans. Suggestions include limiting water fountains and relying on bottled water. But district's leaders say hygiene is a major concern.
I think the hardest part for us really isn't even the water bottles, but I mean flushing toilets. That's number one.
Districts are crunching numbers now to add water supplies to next year's budget. City Council will hold a workshop focused on water crisis plans next Tuesday at 10 a.m.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Three Rivers. For several weeks now, I've been telling you about the water crisis here and how residents and city officials say they were caught off guard with recent Choke Canyon water data from Corpus Christi.
Mayor Martinez is not available.
I called Three Rivers Mayor Felipe Martinez, but got no answer. So I went down to City Hall to find the city manager or the mayor in person to discuss the latest public release put out by the city explaining the back and forth between Three Rivers and Corpus Christi on the Choke Canyon's water supply. But I didn't find them there either.
This is from my sitting down with the city administrator. I think they were, in reading that graph or looking at that, they assumed that everything would be fine.
Peter Zanoni, Corpus Christi city manager, says Three Rivers may have misread that data, assuming the water supply would last until 2027.
Three Rivers has historic run-of-the-river rights that equate to 2% of all the volume of water in Choke Canyon.
He also emphasized that Three Rivers is not a customer of Corpus Christi water. According to Zanoni, Three Rivers uses about 3 million gallons of water daily of the 21 million gallons released from the dam.
They should not be relying on Corpus Christi or Corpus Christi water for data to run their business. They should, because they run their own business, they should have their own data analytics. They should have a good understanding of how much water is in the reservoir, because that's they own a 2% right.
Despite the tension, Corpus Christi officials say they are still willing to work with Three Rivers and other communities. Meanwhile, residents here say responsibility may fall on both sides.
As a business owner, it's scary. I really hope Three Rivers has a plan. I really hope they've been thinking about this for a while now.
Others say the warning signs are not new as water levels continue to drop.
Because they knew it was coming. Because even though it's early, they knew it was going to happen. I feel like they should have something ready.
Corpus Christi officials say they will be scheduling a meeting in the upcoming weeks with Three Rivers officials to sort out all the confusion. In Three Rivers, I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Crest 6 News.
Melissa, thank you. And folks, because of the ongoing drought and dry conditions, Nueces County has extended the countywide burn ban. It will now last through April 28th, and that means all outdoor burning is prohibited. This includes beach bonfires. You can only burn household trash if you do not have trash collection services. Anyone caught breaking the rules could face a $500 fine.
Well, good Thursday morning there, Coastal Bend. Taking a live view from our studio sky cam. You can definitely see our sparkling city by the sea. You can notice that moisture in our atmosphere. Luckily, winds out of the southeast, I should say, at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. That's keeping that fog away for right now. We're waking up to about 69 degrees on the board. Not even necessary to take the jacket out this morning, but especially not into the afternoon as we're on the warm up. Here's where we're waking up this morning, starting the day. 71 degrees in Ingleside. Robstown also coming in at 71 so far. San Diego fairly warm, also at that 70 degrees mark on the money. 70 also for George West so far, with Beeville a little cooler at 68 degrees. But as we're getting ready for that bus stop forecast, yes, you can expect the upper 60s with a good amount of cloud cover this morning, maybe even some of those lower 70s out there. By the 3 p.m. pickup, though, we're on the warm up 83 degrees and then chasing that 85 degree daytime high here in Corpus Christi. Winds we're also going to notice out of the southeast, 15 to 20 miles an hour this afternoon, gusting a little bit stronger than that even. As we're looking at our daytime highs, pretty similar to where we've been all week. We're going to be on the warm up out west, chasing those 90s for Duval County. Towards the coast, though, Port Aransas, maybe only that 77 degree mark. I'm calling 85 here in Corpus Christi, and we're matching that for Robstown so far. But as we're rolling through the rest of the day, we talked about those breezy winds on the way, and they're definitely going to make their presence known as we're heading into the evening portion of our time frame. By 4 to 5 o'clock, that's where we start to see them peaking around that 30 mile an hour mark and still remaining with us as we're going through our evening hours. So just plan on noticing that breeze as you're driving around closer to dinner time. And as we're checking out the fishing forecast heading through the next few days, like we talked about today, going to be a little breezy out there. So we've got the yellowfish on today, going to see some of that moderate chop, but also pretty similar into our Friday. We'll have those breezy winds around. The good news is after our cold front works in tomorrow night, heading into the weekend, it's looking just about prime to head out there. It's very good conditions heading into Saturday and Sunday before that breeze really starts to return as we're heading into our Monday of next next week. This is all due to our friend, the ridge of high pressure we've been tracking all week overhead. It's still remaining overhead for the Lone Star State, meaning we're going to have some fairly warm temperatures and not too much in terms of those rain chances. Of course, keep in mind this is the upper level pattern. Towards the surface levels, we'll have that cold front work in by tomorrow night. Slightly cools us off as we're heading into the weekend and kicks up just that brief rain chance. I really don't think we're going to see anything here in Corpus Christi, but for some counties out west towards Duval County, maybe seeing this isolated shower chance just amount to 1 or 2 of those light showers out there. So not going to be all the rain that we need as it works into the area, but still got my fingers crossed for any drops in the bucket that we can get. For our current 7-day forecast, looking through it, you can see the breezy afternoons on the way, 86 degrees tomorrow, but then as that cold front works in, we're back to the lower 80s as we're heading into the weekend. So I'd encourage you to get out there and enjoy it. Plenty of sunshine, lower 80s. As we get ready to close out March next Tuesday, we're back on the warm up with those mid 80s returning and overnight lows going from the lower 60s, chasing 70 degrees by next Wednesday morning.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The wife of ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro is in court today. Cia Flores will face questioning during a federal hearing in New York City. She pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charges back in January. U.S. forces captured Flores and her husband during a surprise military operation at their home. If convicted, both could face life in prison. The Department of Justice is admitting to mistakes with some immigration arrests. A new court filing shows officials wrongly used an ICE memo to justify taking people into custody at immigration courts. The government now says that memo only applies to enforcement actions near courthouses. It does not specifically mention immigration courts. A civil rights group exposed the issue in a lawsuit. They're challenging the Trump White House policy of arresting people at these locations. The U.S. Postal Service is adding an 8% fuel surcharge on packages. The temporary fee does not apply to letter mail, though. You will start seeing the extra cost on April 26. The post office blames surging fuel prices from the war in Iran, and UPS and FedEx already use similar surcharges. A Los Angeles jury handed down a historic verdict against Meta and YouTube. The jury ruled the tech giants were negligent in designing addictive platforms. A 20-year-old woman filed the lawsuit, and she said the sites harmed her mental health as a minor. The jury awarded her $3 million. TikTok and Snap settled their cases before the trial. Nueces County commissioners voted to raise the price of beach parking permits. They unanimously approved increasing the fee from $12 to $20. Commissioner Mike Pusley originally proposed a nearly $50 fee, but Corpus Christi and Port Aransas already approved the increase. The plan now goes to the Texas General Land Office for final approval, and that process takes about 6 months. If approved, the new rate starts in January 2027. Del Mar College is hosting a free health fair and car show this Saturday. The event runs from noon to 4 at the Windward campus. You can get free health screenings for things like blood pressure, and there will also be classic cars on display. Corpus Christi firefighters will be there with their pink fire truck, and they're collecting donations to help local firefighters battling cancer. The event is free and open to everyone.
Well, hey there and happy Thursday. Coastal Bend taking a look from our SPID Skycam. Still not tracking any of those major slowdowns, but starting to see a more steady flow developing out there on SPID. Nonetheless, we're waking up to temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s so far. 71 degrees your temperature in Port Aransas as well as Rockport, waking up to 69 here in town as well as Beeville. The cool spot on the board, Kingsville, coming in at 67 degrees. And luckily, those visibilities are looking good this morning. That's all thanks to those winds still around 10 miles an hour from the southeast out there. As we're going into the afternoon, though, we'll notice those winds picking up a little bit. Out of the southeast, 15 to 20 miles an hour. Some of those gusts 25 to 30 miles an hour. Of course, we're also on the warm up. That sunshine comes back out, and we're chasing 85 degrees for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi. Even a few 90s out west towards Duval County. But as you're getting ready to head out for the day, here's how that traffic is currently flowing. No issues on the Harbor Bridge. And right now, the same goes for most of our major roadways here in Corpus Christi. Just a minor slowdown as you're getting closer to downtown. But other than that, shaping up for a good and green morning. Let's also take a closer look off to the north. Shout out to you in Beeville up there. And we're coming in good and green also. So really overall, a good and green Thursday morning. I'll have more details on the warm weekend ahead coming up in just a few minutes.
It's been 54 days since Nancy Guthrie went missing from her home in Arizona. And this morning, today, we'll air Savannah's interview with her colleague and friend, Hoda Kotb, her first since her mother's disappearance. In this preview, Savannah shared a message to anyone who may have information about what happened to her beloved mom. Take a look.
someone needs to do the right thing. We are in agony.
Yeah.
We are in agony. It is unbearable. And to think of what she went through. I wake up every night, in the middle of the night, every night. And in the darkness, I imagine her terror. And it is unthinkable, but those thoughts demand to be thought. And I will not hide my face. But she needs to come home now.
Yes.
Folks, make sure you tune in to the Today Show this morning right after sunrise to see that emotional conversation and to hear Savannah in her own words. In other news, Major League Baseball season is here. Your food choices now go well beyond hot dogs and peanuts. National parks in Washington actually offer the Capital Slugger. It's a sausage topped with chili and fried jalapenos. Dodger Stadium is serving bone marrow tacos, pretty fancy. Arizona Diamondbacks fans can grab a salted caramel milkshake, and that dessert comes topped with Kit Kats and Cracker Jacks. These new menu items do not come cheap, though. They will cost you about the same as a meal at a mid-range Mexican restaurant. And don't forget, folks, our Corpus Christi Hook season kicks off Thursday, April 2nd against the Frisco Rough Riders. Fans can enjoy daily promotions this year. Tuesdays feature 4 tickets for $40. Wednesdays offer buy one, get one free tickets. Thursdays bring discounted drinks to the ballpark. And Friday nights wrap up with a fireworks show. For more information, head on over to our website, christv.com. So the world fell in love with Punch the monkey. He went viral after carrying a stuffed animal at a Japanese zoo. Punch used the toy for comfort after his mother abandoned him. He was also bullied by other monkeys. But now the 7-month-old macaque has a real best friend. He ditched the dolly for another monkey named Mo. The zoo says Punch is finally fitting in, and he's now hugging and playing with the other monkeys. Man, really, everybody does love Punch. Did you know that there's Punch merch out there?
See, I didn't know that there was too much. I've seen, I think, a couple of things. Do you have any of the Punch merch?
No,
though?
but I want one. You can get either Punch himself or the monkey that he carried around. You can also get a coffee tumbler. You can get a bag, a little tote bag, beer koozies, so many things.
Man,
Tell me why I was looking at
all
this.
for Punch. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to do pretty well, but I'm just happy to hear that he's starting to fit in and also meeting some other monkeys, now. So not too bad for Punch out there, and not too bad here in the Coastal Bend as we're heading deeper into spring. The only thing we're starting to feel just a little bit more like summer. Those temperatures are closer to what we'd expect from our May time frame right now. Let's take a look from this Coastal Bend Weather Watchers photo, though. This was just from the other night, or the other morning, I should say. Thank you to Michelle Renee Walters for sending in this sunrise from Port Aransas. Just a gorgeous photo. Got the good colors in the sky as that sun's coming up over the horizon, even a feathered friend in view. And either way, if you get a good shot like this one, the sunrise or maybe the sunset or some storms as they do decide to work back into the area, hopefully you also take a picture and send it into our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. Could also see your photo featured on one of our broadcasts. As we're kicking off our Thursday morning, though, you could definitely notice the moisture still in our atmosphere. Here's a live view from our Snoopy's Piers sky cam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're waking up to 71 degrees, winds out of the southeast about 11 miles an hour, and that's good news actually, because if those winds were a little lighter, we'd likely be seeing more of that fog developing out there. Let's take a closer look at our temperatures now with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network. On the south side, 70 degrees for Wind Willow Drive and Garden Court so far. Taylor's Way Court, this cool spot, coming in at 69 degrees right now. As we work our way inland closer to Lake Corpus Christi, 69 degrees your temperature for County Road 803. Farm to Market 796 coming in at that 70 degree mark so far. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Archie Casanova on the board. He's over there from Clayburgh County and says his favorite place to take a walk over there just on the ranch. And hey, that's a pretty good spot for it. As we're going through the morning hours, though, those temperatures for Archie's walk are looking pretty good. 73 by 9 a.m., up to 78 by that 11 a.m. hour, and pushing into the 80s once again as we're heading into this afternoon. Wind-wise, that'll be out of the south about 10 to 15 miles an hour to start out. Then we're picking that up slightly as we head into the afternoon, about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Let's walk you you through the future tracker and what to expect in terms of that sky cover today. Going to wake up with plenty of that cloud cover still similar to what we've been seeing all week. Starts to burn off closer to that 9, 10, and 11 a.m. time frame for us, and then heading into the afternoon, we're off to the races with those temperatures. Calling 85 for here in Corpus Christi, and even a few 90s sneaking their way on the board once again for Duval County. If you do find yourself closer to the coast, though, similar to where we've been all week, only about 78 degrees your temperature in Rockport. And as we're going through our Friday, we'll do it all again once again. We'll start to wake up with more of that cloud cover heading into tomorrow morning, and then more of that sunshine once again as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So how it's all rounding out on our 7-day forecast. It's looking pretty great this weekend. I'd encourage you to get out there and enjoy it. Those lower 80s in the wake of that cold front with plenty of sunshine on the way. As we get ready to close out the month of March by next Tuesday, we're back on that warm up already, chasing 85, if not 86 degrees. Overnight lows on their way towards those 70s. So we're looking a little bit more like summer. How are you feeling about this current 7-day forecast, Michelle?
No, I like it. You know me. I like the good weather. You know, even though we do need the rain, I like to think on the positive side of things,
and,
right?
I mean, just outside that 7-day forecast, we've got some promising notions, so I've got my fingers crossed for it.
Exactly. Well, Stephen, thank you so much. And folks, thank you guys for joining us today. We hope to see you later tonight. We'll have more news from your neighborhood.